Yay! Hi, everyone.
Hello.
What's
Welcome
up?
to our virtual write-in.
Welcome.
How's everyone doing today? It's great to see you there in the chat already. So this is one of our weekly virtual write-ins for Camp NaNoWriMo.
Yes.
So this is our second one of the month, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We're in week 2. It's great. So for those of you who are joining us for maybe like the first time, what we do here is basically we live stream from Nano HQ for an hour. We'll have some sprints for you to get some words towards your goal for the day, and fun chatter here and in the chat. So yeah, feel free to talk to us. Feel free to shoot us any questions you have about writing or about just what we're doing here today. Should be fun. Maddie's got some plans for us.
Yeah. So hi, I'm Maddie, if you have never joined us before.
And I'm Emily.
Also, Emily, did you know it's National Emily Day?
What?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
I don't know, but 17 posted it, and I thought I would tell you.
I need to find out. There's a lot of Emilys in the world, so happy National Emily Day to all of those. Wow. Yeah.
So we can get started. We did start a little late today because we were eating lunch. So
Sorry about that.
Sorry about that. We were hungry. Let me get to my script. Okay. So our first sprint today is just going to be 5 minutes. This will be the most lax and most general sprint of the day. I just have one word for you to use or not use, whatever you so desire. And that word is forward. You can use it in the first sentence of your writing. You can use it as kind of a general idea. You can use it as a motion, or you can not use it at all. Whatever you feel like. What the point is to just write and write for 5 minutes. So that's what we're gonna start with. Let me get my alarm set up. And
my project open.
Too. Oh man. Okay, like I said, 5 minutes. Inspiration is forward. Go. 1 minute warning. And that's time. Woohoo! What'd you write?
Let's see what I got to. Feel free to share your word counts from this sprint in the chat.
Or some favorite lines too.
Yeah, we'd love to hear those. I actually used the word forward.
Okay.
I can read that. I wrote about 65 words, it looks like.
That's pretty good.
70,
pretty good
yeah.
for 5 minutes.
And the sentence where I used forward is, as the ship plowed forward into gray waves, the sun passed its peak in the sky and was soon beginning to sink into the horizon.
That's so pretty.
Setting some mood there.
Yeah. Cool.
So what did you get up to?
I think I really only did a couple of words. I use forward as more of like a write something. So it's more of like a general sense in the word. Mm-hmm. And just kind of trying to get out of this little rut that I've been in for this story. I was looking at the story yesterday and I hadn't updated it since New Year's Eve of last year. So I was like, gotta write more. So that's what I'm planning on doing today.
So we have some word counts coming in.
Look at these. Radical Bacon, a great username. Wow. 225. Nice job. Coffee Cake got 176. We see all these sentences coming in. I love it. Still Tainted 922 got 132. Jesse Bellevue got 110.
Margaret BC3 says, a forward push towards victory or glory, ... or something like that, ... I feel like that's characteristic of the Nano experience, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're all pushing forward towards something.
Hopefully that 50K.
Yeah.
Nano. Cool. I love it. Feel free to continue sharing your word counts, sharing favorite lines so everyone can see the amazing work that you've done. We are going to start on, once I pull up this, on our first discussion. Our general theme today is plot, and just kind of talking about plot, what you have trouble with, what you really like about it, sharing some tips for creating good plots, all that sort of fun stuff. We have, first thing I wanted to talk about was kind of struggling with plot. I think that's one of the things that people really focus on plot when writing. I'm more of a character-based story writer than anything, so I kind of let my characters show me the plot as I go, and that kind of takes the pressure off of me for reading a good plot. What about you, Emily?
Well, I've definitely been in that position, but what I'm working on right now is very driven by the plot, and I've always known, certain landmark moments, but I'm still having a hard time, like, piecing those all together. Yeah. So, yeah.
Do you have, like, things that you follow to help you get through that?
So this one I outlined pretty heavily. Not exactly scene by scene, but, like, sort of plot arc, which we can talk about too, sort of like beginning, inciting moment, climax.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. And then, there have been some points already, like even this early in the month, where I've decided I just have to change something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a willingness to do that. It's always good.
Yeah, willingness to change your outline is always really, really necessary. You don't like have to do it, but you have to be open to the fact that your story can change at any point.
Yeah. So let's see, are people talking about how they feel? Maddie, are you a pantser? Would you define yourself as a pantser? Every 20 asks.
Sorry, I got 1 sec. I got distracted. My playback.
Oh no. It looks like we're still
going. Okay,
live,
good.
So
it's just my computer. Good. I'm definitely more of a pantser. Just because if I outline too much, even just a little bit, I'll get bored. I'll be like, I wrote this already. I'm
dear.
good.
Yeah.
So I have to be a majority of a pantser. Oh my god, my Wi-Fi is gone. But I do need some sort of an outline because last year I didn't outline at all because I switched stories in the middle. So I didn't have an outline for the story that I went to. And it ended up kind of being the same emotions over and over and over every 5,000 words or so because I don't reread during November.
Mm-hmm.
So I forgot basically that I had already covered this and my characters needed to move on rather than, again, pushing on forward like in our prompt. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh my god, my YouTube is struggling. Okay, so I can't see what you're writing right now because my computer doesn't want to connect to the Wi-Fi. But please continue to connect in the chat and hopefully my Wi-Fi will go back up. Emily still has hers up.
Yeah, I can still see you all, so we're good here. Looks like we have a pretty even balance of planners and pantsers on the chat with us today. 209 of you watching now. Thanks, everyone.
That's so exciting.
It makes me so happy.
I know there's also a Plantser badge that was new last year that I was just like super into. I love the badges on the site. I try to collect them all.
That's great. So you have no Wi-Fi at all, or are you back?
I have my script, but no
okay.
YouTube. So I'm going blind. I still have things to talk about though, so that's good. A lot of things I see with plot, just in general, trying to either outline it or write it, is people try and make it too complicated. They try and make it something totally new, and I don't think it's necessary. I think some of the hardest things to write are simple plots.
That is true.
And that's what makes them so good.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta trust yourself to write simple plots. I remember I was writing a Beauty and the Beast ghost story when I was like a freshman in high school. And I was like outlining it, and there were all these things going on and all these characters. And I was outlining, and I got into the first chapter, and I was like, this is way too much. And it like wasn't fun, and it was just kind of like redundant almost. And so I super simplified it, and it just ended up being a much better story than it otherwise would have been. Which is why being willing to change your story in the middle is really helpful, not only for you, but for your story too, and for the quality of your story, and for the quality of your improvement too in writing.
I also feel like when you're writing at such a high speed, just like, I don't know, like you can introduce complexity later, maybe when you're going at a slower pace.
Yeah.
But using, a plot or sort of the general arc of a plot that you're really familiar with, like a fairy tale in Maddie's example, like that's a great way to go, I think.
Yeah. It made it a lot easier. And I was trying to veer way too far away from it. I was just like, no, I chose this story for a reason. That's online, by the way. You can read that if you want to find it.
I'm going to do some like deep dive on Maddie here. I'm curious now.
I want to know what you guys are saying, but my YouTube isn't connecting. This is so sad. What if I quit all the way out of it? What else?
Do you just want to look at my computer?
Yeah, I'll look at yours because I want to talk to you guys.
I feel like we're putting right on top of Blobby here, but
that's okay. That's what Blobby's for. Look how happy he is to help us. Can I go all the way down?
Oh no.
Wait, I think we need the blue. Yeah, there we go. No. I know. But Bobby's being helpful. He's helping with my internet connection. Ooh, Ilsa Davison says, I like to use butcher paper to plan my novel. When I start off, I use a giant sheet and plan my novel that way. I love being able to see everything in front of me. That's a really good way to do it. I've also seen people use not Post-its. Well, I guess you can use Post-its too, actually. Index cards. So if you know you want this, this, and this to happen, you have A, B, and C happening, but you don't know which order, or you maybe want to move them later on and make them like BCA or CBA, I don't know, whatever you want. Mm-hmm. It creates, from something so simple, it creates a complex story without being complex, if that makes sense.
I like that. That probably is a little bit more organized than what I did this month, which is just like, oh, I'm writing in my diary already. Turn the page and just like scribble a few notes here. Turn the page again, like a couple days later, and there's another note. Yeah, my plot is a bit scattered, like islands or something.
Scattered like islands. I like that.
Yeah, it's like a little chain of volcanic plot material.
I love it. Jessie Bellevue says, how do I get re-excited about a story I've outlined too much? Pick one or two things and write about those. Ignore everything else. And then if you are still excited about those other things that you've left out, you'll end up writing them anyways. I think because you're unexcited about it now, it's not going to blend well into your story. Like that unexcitement is just going to kind of come into your story and weight it down. So if you choose the two things that you remember being really excited about starting off, I think you'll be able to reach another good starting point. Mm-hmm.
Shara's Ray suggests doing some free writing. I also think that's a good idea. Just sort of whether it's about, you know, how you as an author are feeling about your story. Sometimes that's just a great way to get emotions out there, and you figure out, you know, why you're unhappy with where your plot is right now and where you'd be more excited about that.
Yeah.
Going.
Yeah, Andrea Henry says, I tried to plan out my story once and then I went in a completely different direction. Sometimes that happens. It's just your writer instinct telling you to do that. We can move on to our sprint 2, our sprompt 2. This one is going to be 10 minutes, twice as long as our first one. And this one is kind of a way to both get out what you don't want to write and maybe inspire you at the same time. My sprompt is, where would your plot never go? And write that. You never know if that's going to inspire you on something really creative, or if you're like, yeah, I definitely don't want to do this. And you'll get inspired either way. Like I said, it's 10 minutes. And
my hair is going up. It's serious business time.
It's writing time.
Writing time.
Alrighty, 10 minutes and go. 1-minute warning. And that's time.
Bravo.
Woo!
We made it to the end of another sprint, everyone.
Good job.
So what did you write about? Did you follow your prompt?
I did not follow my own prompt because I'm just trying to get this plot started. It's only got like 2,500 words right now. And I have like the first chapter outlined.
Mm-hmm.
And I think 2,000 of those words are like 2 of my bullet points for the first chapter. So I feel pretty good about the word count on it, at the very least. What about you?
What did I write?
Yeah, what did you write?
I wrote 157 words.
Solid!
I did sort of take inspiration from the plot, but I didn't write something that was like external to the actual action of my story. I sort of wrote this like internal monologue of speculation about what's going to happen sort of for my main character. But the trick of it is that she's wrong about everything.
I love when characters are wrong about things. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's so exciting. I completely agree. But it's actually to her benefit that she's wrong about everything.
Okay.
So she's not completely screwed yet.
That's good.
Your word counts are all coming in looking
Look
very
at that.
impressive. Let's
Naughty
see.
Mouse got 161. Steph L hit 15K for the month. Nice. Very
Bravo.
nice.
Ash Robinshaw, 278 words. Hazel Feather, 478. Wow. Wow to all of you.
Alyssa Metzler Score Zone has just a little bit under 4,000 left of your goal. Nice job. You're so close.
Did y'all find this like really easy to get words out there just because it was like if you were taking on a completely oddball situation your characters would never do? Was it like catharsis or something?
And like which way, if you did follow the prompt, like which way did you take it? Because like if you have a really serious story, you could have taken it in a like a little slight different direction, like oh the evil person won, or you could have like made it into like a Dr. Seuss land. So Alicia did not think it was easy. Wait, explain. I want to hear more. Alicia Treyarch. Danish Kokani asks, do you guys use what you write in these virtual write-ins in your actual writing? I know I do.
I do, but I usually don't get that much done. I usually get like 200 words done during the whole hour, which is writing. It's definitely writing, and I'm definitely like pleased with some sort of one-liners I come up during these. But I have a hard time like getting really engaged with like scene work or anything. And I love sprints in general, but sometimes they're hard for that.
Yeah.
No matter what form you're doing it on, yeah.
I know. I mean, I'm planning on putting this story up on fanfiction.net, so it's fanfic. Fun fact. Shocker. But But yeah, I've definitely been on using, and I think that's one of the reasons why I go a little slower is I'm a little more concerned with, okay, like this is gonna go somewhere. I want to make sure it's right.
So the reason I feel like I've been going pretty slow on the project I've been doing for this year's camp, but it's one I actually had about, I want to say like 15,000 words on, maybe more like 10,000 words. And I had workshopped it before. I had a lot of like clarity and sort of like what I wanted from the world. So those details are really cemented in my mind, and I can't just kind of like blow through them.
Yeah.
So that is holding me back a little bit, but I'm pretty pleased, like still, you know, challenging myself to get words out there every day. Yeah, so I think it's okay. Just like another added element, sort of when you're grappling with an outline, and you're like me and you're not used to that, I guess.
Oh yeah, see, whenever I mention fanfic, it kind of explodes in the chat.
Looks like we have a lot of fic writers out there.
I love it. I love it. Young Dresses fanfic. I have one that I've started, but I haven't finished.
Ooh. Can you ask what fandom your fic is for?
This one is for an anime called Ghost Hunt. But it's like you don't need to know anything about the series to understand it. I'm doing another one of those, like, it's a Hunchback of Notre Dame ghost story. There is a beautiful soundtrack for the Broadway version of Hunchback that definitely inspired this. It's like the title of it is from one of the songs, and it is cool.
Maddie, we have so many overlapping interests. We
I'm
need
so
to talk about this sometime.
We will. After this. Yeah, okay. So I have an activity.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You got paper for us.
I got paper. That's where I went during that last sprint.
All right, tell me what we're doing here today.
Okay, so I am a big fan of Disney. Anyone who's met me for maybe 8 seconds knows that I love Disney. And Pixar has a storytelling guide. It's a 6-point guide that they use to outline all of their stories, to workshop all of their stories, and they released it online, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago. So if you follow Disney, you will recognize this outline. They call it the storytelling method or something, the Pixar storytelling method. And there's 6 of them. A, once upon a time, blank. B, every day, blank. C, one day, blank. D, because of that, blank. E, because of that, blank. Until finally, blank. We will write this down for you. It'll be in the chat. I know I went through that really, really fast. So we'll do this one at a time with you, just so you guys can follow along. So if you guys want to grab a piece of paper really fast, or Post-it notes, or index cards, or if you want to divide on, you can use this on a Word doc even, if you want to just like write it down, if you don't have paper close by. I am going to fold it in 6 just because I want it to be physical.
It's doing like the opposite 6. It's okay.
Will that make me? Yeah? Okay. Cool.
And some origami.
Yeah, we're doing origami.
Something like that.
Yeah. Mine looks like this. Well, 6. So you guys can get that set up. I would recommend that you number them, letter them, I don't know. Do whatever feels right to you. And do it in any direction that feels right to you. For me, this method makes the plot so linear, and it makes all of your plot points necessary, which I feel is something that is necessary for any well-told or well-written story, is nothing is left out, nothing feels arbitrary, nothing feels like it was added just because. Everything is connected and everything has a reason. So our first one is Once Upon a Time, and then you fill in your Once Upon a Time. I want to actually read an example of this just to hear it in kind of the Pixar form, and you can kind of see how they did it. If you have seen the movie Incredibles, you will recognize this. Incredibles is my favorite Pixar movie. It's the best one. So that's why I used it. I know it the best. So once upon a time, there was a superhero named Mr. Incredible. Every day, he saved the world. One day, he saved someone who did not want to be saved. Because of that, superheroes had to go into hiding. Because of that, Mr. Incredible became very sad and bored. Until finally, a superhero named Mirage contacted him and offered him the chance to be a superhero again. Now, for those last three, I decided to go with the beginning of the story rather than the whole movie, just because I felt it fit a little better. But you can see that you can add a whole bunch of because of that's into your plot, and it just kind of keeps things very linear, very simple, very straightforward, and it keeps them all connected. So we're going to go through this one at a time with each other. Let me make sure I have my chat up in case anyone has questions. Okay, so you can do this for your story. You can do this for the continuation of your story. You can do this for a different story, whatever feels best to you. I think I'm going to do it for my story right now.
I'm going to do it for my story too. I'm going to write it all out and then share.
We'll go one at a time, and then we'll share everything after, but like we'll do Once Upon a Time. Okay, right.
Okay, blah, blah, blah. I like it. Once upon a time.
Go. Okay, B is every day. C is one day, so something that disrupts your everyday. D is because of that, so a fallout from your one day. E is another because of that. and F, just because we need to limit the because of that's for our time limit today, is until finally.
Already?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Cool.
So how about we share like the one thing we found most illuminating about this? So you want to start?
Sure, I'll start. Like I said, it's a ghost story, and there's people stealing things. So I have my captain and my priestess, who are my main characters. They're kind of random characters for a ghost story, but whatever. I decided that they were going to work together to find who done it and the ghost, because they're very similar characters, so they don't get along very well. So they have a lot of really snarky banter. That was the new thing I discovered in this moment.
The snark?
That they were going to work together.
Okay.
As well as be snarky.
I like it. I like it. I think what happened for me, because I was trying to get sort of like from beginning to end of my plot in these 6 frames, I sort of at 5 realized just how long my middle is going to be, and I sort of like dwelled in appreciation of that. I was like, wow, so many things will be written there. That's where I can get a lot of my words coming in, because I literally wrote, she began a grand magical journey and learned so much about herself.
That's the best story.
Yeah. So I think by having sort of this structure that Maddie suggested for us, I pinpointed the parts, that are really grounded, maybe the beginning and the end, but sort of, the one section where I know I need some more concretes, and I know I have a lot of writing to do, is right there in the middle, which is what I'm sort of moving into in this next week, right?
Cool.
So
yeah, because we're getting into the meat of July of camp.
Yeah, I noticed. Oh, yay, people are talking about trans characters. One of my main characters is non-binary, and it's a great time. Thank you all for sharing that. That was a side note. I hope this exercise brought some clarity to people.
Yeah, for reals. I find it just really helpful to streamline my plot. I really like having plots that are kind of like dominoes, where you knock one thing over and just everything happens. That's fun.
So what do we have for the end of our hour here? This one went pretty fast.
It went real fast. Oh yeah, I have another prompt. We can make it 5 minutes because we're almost out of time.
We started a little late though.
We did start a little late.
I think we should keep it.
Do you want to keep it at 10 minutes?
Yeah, or happy medium 8.
8? I like 8 minutes.
And we can wrap up. You all can get back to your writing pursuits. So this will be our last prompt of our VWI today.
Yay. Feel free to share your, if you followed along with us, share on Twitter, Nano Interns Twitter.
Oh yeah. We always love to see things you're working on the Nano Interns Twitter. I'm usually on there, so you can talk to me if you want to when I'm procrastinating on my own project. All right, let's go.
Let's go. 8 minutes. This prompt is choose one of these steps and write off of it, just to keep that energy flowing, the inspiration flowing. 8 minutes and go.
There we go.
That's time. Hey.
Thanks for those of you who stuck around
Yeah.
to the end of this sprint. You can go and share your word counts one last time for this BWI.
You can share your total word counts for the whole day.
The whole month?
Whole month.
I love seeing those.
Yeah.
Those are inspiring.
I think I wrote the most that last time, which is funny because it wasn't even the longest one.
Ooh.
But I think writing that really helped. It just kind of gave me enough structure, but not too much structure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Lady Montai got $66.99 for the whole month so far. Italy 2002 got $21,508 for the month so far. Mocha got $582 for the day. Major Fables got $171. Violet H 13,882 for the whole month. These are amazing. I love every single one of these, and I'm so proud of every single one of you.
Let's see. I probably wrote like 2 sentences. See, like, there's a huge range of what writers can get done in these. I wrote 32 words for the record. Sometimes you just need to think about a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling like I could use some caffeine too. I'm noticing a lot of you are like, oh, I need more coffee. So
I need soda real bad. I don't have my like signature soda of the day, and I'm just like,
yeah, Maddie was really sad about that.
So sad. I ran out of soda this morning.
So should we wrap up here?
I think so.
Have any inspiring words for our rhinos?
Follow NaNoWriMo Word Sprints, or it's Nano Word Sprints on Twitter.
Ooh, that's a great way. Yeah, if you want to get more sprints in, there's a great community out there. We have sprint leaders on, like so many hours of the day now.
I really think it's like 24 hours a day because every time I go on Twitter, I see more.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got a pretty good shot of stumbling into one of them.
Mm-hmm. And those really keep the momentum up. So you can sort of ride off the word counts that you got from this hour long we've had here. It's been great seeing and sharing progress with each other.
If you made one of these, share with us on our Twitter.
Yes.
NaNoInterns. Or you can share with us on Instagram, NaNoWriMo. Or, I don't know, just share it to inspire other people on your own social media accounts. You do you. You have fun with it.
And so we have for today.
I think that's all we have for today.
We'll be back next week.
Next week.
Same time.
Same place.
The link is already on our YouTube portfolio or profile.
Yeah.
So that's where you can find it. It'll also be out on our social media come next week.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're very excited to have some of you join us again.
Yay! If anyone's going to D23 this weekend, let me know. Otherwise, happy writing, everyone. You're almost halfway through camp. You can do it.
Yeah,
Yay! Bye, everyone. Have a good day.
Bye.